DLC. Look, everybody's got their own opinions. Everybody's got their favorites. But guess what? I'm here to tell you the correct opinion because I know that you've been dying to hear mine. So to start, Borderlands, the pre-sequel, the Holodome Onslaught. Never played it. Okay, never played tier. Holodome Onslaught, I have never played. I've seen people play it. I personally have never played it. I've never really been a huge fan of the pre-sequel. The pre-sequel to me was just not a game that I was into. Bounty of Blood. I'm going to be completely honest. Borderlands 3's DLCs are all really, really good, but Bounty of Blood for me is S tier. It has some of the coolest guns. Obviously, there's power creep and whatever. You could talk about all the extra stupid shit that they added in the game. But Bounty of Blood just had so many cool things. The Wild West like setting and all that stuff just felt really, really good in the game. Rose was also a really, really cool villain. And so that's why I'm putting it in S tier, because it just had good gameplay, good guns, good villain. All that combined, S tier. Guardian Takedown. Now, I know some of you guys are going to be like, Guardian Takedown's ass. Guardian Takedown fucking sucks. But personally, it's B tier for me. Reason that I'm putting in B tier is because it's just the puzzles in it, and they're not even really puzzles. Let's call them what they are. They're just time wasters, really. The time wasters are just really not necessary, and it's just bloat. I don't think they really needed it, to be completely honest. But it's in the game. It's still fun. It's definitely not horrible, but it's not that great. And honestly, now that I'm thinking about it, I'm putting it in C tier because there's more and more things that I've been remembering about it, and I'm just, no, it's not good. Anyways, Psycho Krieg and the Fantastic Fustercluck. Now, this is a hot take. Let's be honest. This is a hot take. This might be the worst DLC to come out of Borderlands 3. In my opinion. The story of this DLC is really good, but what came with the DLC is just kind of eh. So I'm going to put it in B tier for that reason. I'm not a huge fan of it. It just kind of is the same stuff repeated, except the story, like I said, is really good. Valhalla could have been way cooler. Like, there was a lot of things in this DLC that just like, they didn't fit, you know? It kind of felt forced, that's all. But it is what it is. Bloody Harvest returns. A tier. Borderlands 3's Bloody Harvest was good. It had the terror annoyance. You could self-terror yourself and then, you know, use some of the really cool annoyance about like infinite ammo and stuff like that. And like, to me, that's cool. Bloody Harvest Returns was really good. So I'm putting that at A tier. Borderlands 2's Bloody Harvest. I'm gonna put it at B tier because it was just okay. There's nothing special about it. There's not a lot that I can like say. It was Halloween themed. And so to me, it was still cool because of the Halloween theme, but other than that, B tier is probably like the perfect spot for it. Okay, now here is a point of contention for a lot of people in the community. The raid on Digistruck Peak. Digistruck Peak is one of the worst pieces of content in Borderlands. I'm gonna be honest. The OP levels kind of ruined the balance of Borderlands 2. To me, they just were kind of unnecessary and they could have used some tweaking, but the devs didn't do that, so we're kind of left with a buggy mess. And after this DLC, which we're about to do next, was added in, it broke the game even more. I'll be honest, OP levels were okay and they were somewhat balanced pre-Lilith Fight for the Sanctuary. With Fight for the Sanctuary DLC, it's horrible. Digistruck Peak is horrible. Like the content, I guess you could say, like the running through the map and, you know, doing each run, it's okay. It's whatever. It's kind of the same. It's boring. New enemies each time, I guess. It's whatever. This is where I feel like a lot of you guys are going to disagree with me because a lot of you guys don't like Commander Lilith in the Fight for Sanctuary, but I remember I got back into Borderlands 2 when Commander Lilith came out. And so I said, well, I might as well get back on Borderlands. So I got the DLC because it was free. I'm going to put it in B tier with Bloody Harvest and Fustercluck because it's a good DLC. It just has problems. That's all. Like for me, I remember playing it and it held a special place in my heart because the Pearlescence, I think it's Hatterax. Is it Hatterax or Cromarax? I don't know. It's one of the Raxes. He's in the DLC and it was just really fun. It was fun all around, and then shit broke because of the DLC, and I understand people get mad at it, rightfully so, but I'm gonna put it in B, and things may change, but we'll see. I have played Claptastic Voyage and it's going into S tier, and I feel like a lot of you will agree with me. This DLC, it was just so different. It was so fun. The set pieces, the like, I guess the way it was made, it just felt different. It didn't feel the same. It had like a cooler like retro game vibe, and I fuck with it. I really liked it. So S tier it is. Like I said, Things are subject to change, but for now, S tier. Robo Revolution, just by default, it's gonna go in C because Borderlands 1's DLCs just weren't that good, in my opinion. Like, for maybe back then they were good, but I wasn't playing Borderlands back then, and so like going back and playing them after playing Borderlands 2s and pre-sequels and Borderlands 3s and even Tiny Tina's Wonderlands, in my opinion, is better than these. Maybe not better, but maybe on par with Borderlands 1, so that's a problem. Anyways, Claptrap's New Robot Revolution, C tier, and that's where I'm leaving it. The Zombie Island of Dr. Ned. It's E. It is the worst DLC. It might be I don't like this DLC. And I'm a huge zombie guy. I love zombies. I play 7 Days to Die all the time. I'm a huge fan of COD zombies. Dying Light, I love Dying Light. Like, there's a bunch of games with zombies that I love. And I was very excited when I heard that Borderlands had a zombie DLC. But this DLC is just so boring. The zombies aren't cool. They don't really do anything. It's tedious. It's such a waste of a zombie DLC, and I really hope we get a better one in the future, because this got my hopes up to the point where I was like, there's no way they can mess it up. But it was just so boring. It was such a letdown, and that's the exact reason that I'm putting it in E, because I don't feel like it should go above E, because Digitruck Peak, in my opinion, is better than this DLC. I don't even want to talk about it anymore. Anyways, Secret Armory of General Knox. I never played it. I've never went to this DLC. Never played it, and it sucks because I know that there's this like huge loot room that everybody does in Borderlands 1. So next, Guns, Love, and Tentacles. I think this DLC is A tier. I'm gonna be honest. I think it's A tier. It brought back Gage and her little robot. It just all around has a good vibe. I like the like Cthulhu art in the DLC. It's really nice. Some of the guns are a little OP in this DLC. There's a purple gun. It shoots skulls every so often, and I'm pretty sure you get that from this DLC. And that gun is fucking P. For that reason, I like the atmosphere. I like the way it looks. I like the guns. A tier. It's not as good as Bounty of Blood, but pretty good. Hammerlock's Big Game Hunt. D. Horrible. Horrible DLC. Horrible. It's just boring. I don't even want to talk about it. Moving on. Moxie's Heist of the Handsome Jackpot. A. Borderlands 3's first DLC. It reintroduces Timothy. It brings back a lot of nostalgia because of the Handsome Jack set pieces, and it's cool. I like the final boss. It's kind of boring, but hey, it is what it is. It brings back that nostalgic feel that everybody wanted with Borderlands 3. A tier. Takedown at Maliwan's Black Site. S tier. Honestly, it's probably the best piece of content that Borderlands has ever gotten. So I'm putting it above Bounty of Blood. This takedown made me actually forget that there wasn't raid bosses in Borderlands 3 at one point, solely because I was just running through this takedown so much, trying to get faster times, trying to get the weapons at the end, trying to kill the boss quicker, right? Testing my build on certain bosses in that DLC, like the 3 Valkyries. If there was something above S tier, I'd put it there, but there's not. So I'm putting it at top of S tier because this DLC is insane. Marcus's Mercenary Day. A tier. Only reason that I'm putting it in A tier and not S tier is because it doesn't really have much to it. It's just a headhunter pack and it's small, just a quick one and done. Everybody likes the snowman, everybody likes the train. Everybody's farmed the train. Well, at least everybody that plays Borderlands like we do. Yeah, everybody's farmed it. It's just whatever. It's middle of the road actually, so I'm gonna put it in B. Moxie's Wedding Day Massacre. I don't remember playing this one, but I'm pretty sure I did. I think it's the one in Borderlands 2 with the church, but I don't remember, so I'm gonna put it in Never Played. I'm pretty sure I played it, but I'm gonna put it in Never Played just because I rarely do the DLC in Borderlands games. Revenge of the Cartels. This DLC was good, but I feel like it's overrated, in my opinion. I feel like it looks cool, the set pieces are very cool, the weapons in the DLC are really cool, but it's nothing like special, and I feel like a lot of people give it way too much credit, so I'm gonna put it in B, because like I said, it's pretty much on the same level as Fight for Sanctuary, Marx's Mercenary Day, Borderlands 2's Bloody Harvest, and Psycho Krieg and the Fantastic Fustercluck. Moving on, Son of Cromorax. This is just a Headhunter DLC. Technically, it's just a raid boss. So D. I'm not a huge fan of Cromorax. Tiny Tina's Assault on Dragon Keep. I mean, come on. Like, are you kidding me? S tier. I'm still putting it behind Maliwan because Maliwan Takedown is insane. It is so perfectly executed that you wouldn't think it was made by Gearbox. Assault on Dragon Keep, cracked. It's what spawned the whole Tiny Tina's Wonderlands. Above Bounty of Blood, above Claptastic Voyage. Campaign of Carnage, C tier. I didn't play it very much, but from what I remember, it's a lot of driving. Mad Moxie's Underdome Riot, E. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Tedious, boring. The waves just aren't like, you would think they would have made it like different enough to the point that the enemies were like, you know, had more variety or skills or whatever, but it's just really boring. I think they tried to do like a round base type thing, kind of like COD at the time, but it's just not good. Ah, yes, grandma speaking to me. D tier. A lot of people think it's funny, the grandma talking to you for like a whole fucking hour and just never stopping, but it's not. It's honestly really fucking stupid, in my opinion. Captain Scarlet. I'm just gonna put it in A tier, the Sandhawk's in here. This is my tier list for all the DLCs, and if I missed any, make sure to put that in the comments as well, but I don't think I did, so hopefully we're good. But other than that, if you've enjoyed, hit that like button. If you didn't, make sure to tell me why, and I love y'all. I'll see you in the next one. Also, I have a Discord. There's a link in the description. I'd love if you joined up. Anyways, have a good day. See y'all in the next one. Goodbye.